Hi guys, and welcome back to another lesson. In today's lesson we're going to be learning how to convert between fractions and decimals. And so you'll be able to show this understanding through the examples and also completing questions later. So let's start by first writing a decimal as a fraction. So we have our decimals here on our left hand side, and we want to get it down to a fraction over here. So we're going to just fill in this little table. So we have 0 units as demonstrated before our decimal, and then we have our 7/10. So our fraction is then 7/10. Again, we've got 0, we have 0/10 and 2 100ths. So we have 2 100ths in total. In the next one, we have 3 whole units, 1/10, 2 100ths, and 5 1,000ths. So the way we write this is we have 3 and 125 thousandths. Now, the number of digits after that decimal point is how many zeros are in the denominator. So here we have 0.045. And we want to make this into a whole number, so we have to move that decimal 1, 2, 3 places. 1, 2, 3. So we have then 4 over 1,000 with our 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3 for our 3 decimal places. 1, 2, 3. Then you can simplify that down because we always simplify our fractions, and we go down to 9 200ths. Let's do some examples. So the first one, we have 1 decimal place afterwards, so we're going to go 8 over 10. The next one, 0.76, 2 decimal places, so we're going to be 76 100ths. Oh, sorry, I forgot to cancel this one down to 4/5. But 76 100ths, which are 19 25ths. The next one, 1.24. We keep our 1 the same, so any numbers before the decimals remain as whole numbers before our fraction. And we have 2 decimal places after the decimal, so we end up with 1 and 24 100ths. It's simplified down to 6. It should be 1 and 6 25ths, so there should still be that 1. Don't do what I did and lose that 1. Pause it and do this next question for me. So what you should get is, well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 decimal places. 4 decimal places. So what we end up with is 92 over 10,000. So we've got our 4 zeros for the 4 numbers after the decimal. And we simplify that down to 23 over 2,500. Now let's do the opposite way, which is much easier because we've done similar kind of sums before. So we have 6/10. What we can say is we're actually dividing 6 by 10. And when we divide by 10, we're moving that decimal place 1 place to the left because we've got our 1 0. So we end up with 0.6. Now, if you've forgotten how to multiply or divide by multiples of 10, there is a video under number skills. It might be under measurement, that you can watch if you've forgotten. Then this one we have 32 divided by 100. So we've got 1, 2 zeros. So we're going to move that decimal place 2 places to the left. 1, 2, and we end up with our decimal point here, which gives us 0.32. Now we have 3 over 25. Now the first thing we need to do is figure out what do we multiply 25 by to make it either 10, 100 or 1,000, whichever, or even 10,000, whichever one is easiest to get to. In this case, we could just multiply 25 by 4 to make it equal 100. Now remember, what you do to the bottom or to the denominator, you must do to the numerator as well. So we end up with 12 over 100. So we're going to divide 12 by 100. There's 2 decimal places, so we end up with 1, 2, movements to the left, so we end up with 0.12. I want you to pause this and do D for me. So hopefully you realize you have to multiply this by 2, which will give you 6 over 10, because what you do to the denominator, you must do to the numerator. And then we're going to divide 6 by 10, which gives us 0.6. Hopefully that's been helpful, guys. Remember, if you have any questions, you can either leave it, you can ask your teacher. Otherwise, good luck with the questions, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.